So in this video I'm gonna explain about the finding the sum of natural number using the recursion concept. So let me revise this as we all know that recursion is a method of solving a problem where the solution depends upon the smaller number of instances of the same problem. So in recursion the function calls to itself. So in this video, I have already mentioned about the recursion and has found the factorial using the concept of recursion. So in this video I'm gonna explain about finding the sum of natural number using recursion. So firstly, let me explain what I mean. So for example, if I have to find 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, then this gives something like 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 10, 10 plus 5 15. So this gives 15. So we can find this by using the concept of recursion, where recursion is a function where the function calls to itself. So let me do this by the example in C, and here I have included the preprocessor directive, which is include stdio.h. So here the main function int main void. So here let me declare one integer variable int10, and let me prompt the user to type the integer. So here the print statement, printf, enter the number of terms. So we are asking the user for this number of terms, for example like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n. So we are asking the user for this n up to where the users want to find the sum of. So we are asking the user about this, and let me do this to the C file, and we are asking the user, and the user should input it, and we input by using the scanf function in C, and here the %d as the format specifier for integer type, and let me save it as %n for saving it. So here all we are doing is like asking the user for the number of terms, and now here the recursion concept plays off, and here in the first part I am here declaring one function int sum, and it has the return type integer, and is taking the argument int, and this is called the blueprint of sum function. So all we are doing here is like we are declaring or making the blueprint of the sum function, and here let me call this here int sum, and here int is a variable, and we have to put one dummy variable. Let me do it as I, and inside of it, as we all know that recursion has two parts. The first is parts or bases or cases, what you can call it, base case, and the other is the recursive case. So here the base case, in base case, like I mentioned already here, recursion is a method of solving a problem where the solution depends on the solution to the smaller instances of the same problem. So here the all base case is all about the smaller instances of the same problem. So base case is so simple and simplified that it no longer has to be iterated. It can directly compute itself. So in the base case I have mentioned one if statement. This is always like this, like similar to the previous video. You can check the description for the link. Sorry, here big bracket, curly braces, and it should return. So here the integer type, so it should return 1. Otherwise, this is the now the recursive case comes in. So let me move this comment to here, and here the recursive part plays off, and it should return here. Like for finding the sum from 1 to 5, we can do this as something like finding 5 plus finding the sum up to 4. Like finding 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is similar to finding the sum of 5 plus finding the sum up to 4. So here all we are doing is returning I plus, and here we are calling the functions to itself. So I minus 1, and here the function is calling to itself. So the function, now our program is almost 80% completed. All we have to do is call this function in the main function, and here I'm going to declare another variable s, and the s is going to hold the value that is being returned from the sum function, and the sum takes the argument n, and here the n is the declared integer variable here, and the n is inputted from the user, and this goes to this sum function, and the sum can be evaluated. Now the sum is evaluated. Now we have to show the user about the sum, and we can use the print function. Printf the sum is %d, and here the %d, the format is specified by the integer, and the integer here is this s. Now I am saving it. Now let me try it by running it, and here open terminal. I am using the CS50 ID. You can use other IDs as well, like code block, dev C++, turbo C++, any ID you can use. And let me compile it by doing make t2.t2, and here /t2, and here it is asking the enter the number of terms, and I'm entering here 5. Now it should give, as our math is right, it should give something like 15. So let me hit the enter button here. So it is giving 15. So you can see that all this is doing is like it's calling the function to itself. So this is what the recursion is all about. Like first it has the base case and the recursive case. Let me try by another example here. Make t2./t2, and for the number of term I am entering like 150. Let me try what it gives. So the sum is 1 to 75. Let me check it in the Google. Sum up to 50. Let me check it. Oh, even number is 1 to 50. So the sum of 50 term here is 1 to 75. Here the Google is showing another answer. Let me try it here. Oh, the Google is also saying the sum is 1 to 75. So our program is right. So here we have used the concepts of the recursion. So if you like the video, you can do the sharing, subscribing, commenting. So thank you.